Are we live? Is it still working?
I think so.
I don't know. I can't hear you, Callum. No, I don't know if it's just
You
me.
can't hear me at all? Oh no, I can hear you. I don't know if people can hear me.
Second.
You could hear me a
Maybe it's
minute ago,
me.
Marcin. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. I don't know. Someone in the chat, tell me, can you hear me, or is it Marcin's fault? I'm not sure.
That's
We can hear both of you.
That's a
So
good
it's
start.
Marcin.
We've just been having
a
my headset and I will join.
We've just been having a long catch up, and his headset worked absolutely fine. So who knows what's going on?
I can hear you now again. So
Okay. Yeah.
My setup has forgotten how it works. So that's
Clearly.
how it is. It's good to be back though, but it feels like ages. It feels like ages.
It has been ages. It has actually been ages. We didn't do one in December in the end. We were both a little busy. And
yes.
Well, yeah.
We have our guest.
We have a guest.
Yeah. I will add Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve. You're in.
Hello.
You're in. Just in time. Just in time after the intro. How are you doing today? Hello. Can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you, Marcin. Can Steve
hear us? How you doing?
Good. Is there a delay? Oh my goodness. Is that the delay?
I don't know. I hear you well, Callum. I don't know if Steve...
I do as well. I think there's a delay on Steve.
Maybe.
I'm getting the delay on you guys, but
good. Only a bit of a delay.
what a great start of the year. But what has happened in between of us being here last time and now? Callum, obviously you've been doing through some long journeys and changes. Are you all settled now?
Yes. So I am based in Sydney now, and we've got our apartment sorted. I've been building furniture this week, which is awful and not what you want to be doing. But yeah, no, it's been good. We're over a month here now, and experiencing everything from like epic thunderstorms to 40-degree sunny days. So, getting the full experience. And I hear it's been nice and cold in Europe, so I don't feel too bad about it at all. But no, it's good. What are you up to, Marcin?
Oh, I think a lot has happened. I can't even remember what, but I was pretty busy. I was doing a lot of things, but now I'm also in my last day before the winter holidays. So I do believe that there will be some snow in the mountains where I'm going, but it's obviously 9 degrees at the moment where I am, so it's not very much promising. But yeah, that's my last day before the week of holidays. So I'm glad that we made it, and I made it because it was unsure for me as well to the end. But we are here, and it's the beginning of the year, so a lot of changes, a lot of plans, maybe not resolutions or maybe goals, because I stopped doing that, but generally a lot of things has happened. I believe that's what I say. Maybe not that much Umbraco related from this perspective, but I feel like it's it might be a year in between of the last time when we talked and now. That's how I feel. So.
Yeah. There's a lot that's been happening that I've not really been keeping on top of. Do we have Steve with us live now?
Yes, I hope so.
Yes, we do. Hello. How are you doing, Steve?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, good. Yeah. So
are you in the new Jibe office?
I am. I've
First
got the best view where I am.
Oh, good.
It does look like a building site a bit jammy, but
it's nice.
Yeah,
good.
It looks like a background from Teams or something. So it's a really nice design. So that's for sure.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's better than the meeting pod thing we've got, where it's just blank wall behind you.
Yeah. And then if you're in there too long, you stop being able to breathe, and it just gets all stuffy and disgusting, doesn't it?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah.
How's your part of the year, Steve? Was it busy or slow entrance into 2025 on your side?
Oh, it's been a busy one. There's been lots going on. Yeah, just personal life as well as in work. So yeah, really, Spark's sort of ramping up. So it's kind of getting.
I mean, that's only what 5 weeks away at this point, because February's not really a month, is it? It doesn't count.
Yeah, no, it's scarily quick now. The build up. So.
Let's maybe talk about it. How it's going? On what stage are you in preparations? I know I've noticed it today that this is the final day to put call for proposals. tell us more.
Yeah,
and
I think,
are joining here.
I think that's the big one. I think call for proposals ends tonight, so yeah, I've had a few people chasing up to find out, but like yeah, we'll be letting people know on Monday. But yeah, if you do have ideas for talks and stuff, people need to be getting them in today because this is the last chance. Yeah, so that's always a worrying one for us because it's like we need to get the right balance and
any
yeah.
topics you think you'd be looking for that you might be missing right now that someone out there might be, thinking of submitting?
Yeah.
And
I think I've had surprisingly few on like the new back office stuff, which I was expecting more around that. With that being the sort of still newish thing, a lot of people still haven't moved up to 14 plus.
Does it mean that people are over the hype, or that people aren't using 14 enough to talk about it yet?
A little bit both, I suspect. Yeah, I think we haven't really moved to 14 plus yet, so wait for the long-term support stuff to come. So yeah, so but it'd be good. Like obviously, the more people learn about it, the more they'll get up to speed, the more people you get using it and testing it. And, yeah. So
any other topics you're after then? Anything you've got
really sort of. I don't know. At the minute, we got sort of some talks booked in already. We got one on the V14 back office from HQ, and then we've got a couple which are sort of non-Umbraco but sort of heavy technical talks, and then which people have seen and recommended from other meetups and .NET stuff. So we thought we'd get them in early, and then other than that, it's really just sort of deep dives, technical talks, that sort of thing we're looking for. So trying to stand out a bit amongst the, obviously Spark's original intention was that, and it's kind of drifted slightly with just what we've had submitted over the years, but trying to focus it up again.
Slightly new format this year in terms of single track, and the mix of talks a bit different. Yeah,
so I think that does make it different. I don't know if it'll be good or bad, but we will find out. But I think definitely, single track, one large room, so we can have a few more people in. So we're allowing up to 200, but so anywhere between 150 and 200, we're pretty happy with. And then we'll have a room out the back, which we'll be doing sort of still maybe carry the hackathon on through into that, and have a sort of people around to help people with sort of any problems they have in Umbraco and stuff, and try and make use of the sort of quiet room at the back a bit more efficiently than we have done. We haven't had that option in the past. So. It's a completely new venue, which has been a science museum in Bristol, which has been renovated just over the road over the water from the M Shed. So it shouldn't be too unfamiliar for people, but we'll try out a new venue and see how that works.
It's directly opposite. What was it a few years back? There was like a crazy golf place at the pre-party or the after-party, was that?
We'll be doing another pre-party. I think it's in the lane. Well, last year was in the lanes. There's so many places called the lane something.
Roxy Lanes,
the Lane 7. There's so we'll be up at doing that, and there'll be sort of games to play and stuff. So we're still looking for a sponsor for the pre-party. But there will be some sort of pre-party where how much of it's covered would depend on sponsorship.
How the events are looking at right now? It's still tough to get people sign up for the events. How do you see it from behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think last year we had too many people offered to sponsor. We were turning people away. This year it's been a lot harder to find sponsors, and also we've had a lot more sales have gone to individuals rather than to companies for tickets, I think. So probably companies finding it a bit tougher climate at the minute and not buying all they're going to wait till the last minute.
Exactly. I've been saying this for the last year. It's been tough for events, but people decide at the very last minute, it seems, which is awfully annoying as an organizer because it makes it very difficult to plan and get name badges printed, which Spark's always made these lovely laminated name badges that you can really keep hold of. They aren't destroyed by the end of the day, and yet they take time to have printed, don't they? So you're closing ticket sales earlier.
At the minute, the plan is to close the sales on the 15th of Feb. We're about 70% sold at the minute. Cool. By the time we've got the speakers in and stuff. So, and typically in the past we have sold out before, well before the event. So we're kind of still on track for where we normally are, roughly. But we kind of expecting some companies to buy like 3 or 4 a piece or something, and then it will quickly rack up. But don't hold on to the last minute, because we've had every year up to now we've had people sort of saying, "Oh, we missed out. Can we?"
Here's the big question: people always go, "Oh, we didn't realize it was going to sell out." So, well, that's quite hurtful. Of course, it's a great event. But the big question is: has Jonathan Richards bought a ticket yet? Because every year he waits until the last minute and then forgets. And last year I had to give him one because they were sold out and we had a spare one. But has he bought a ticket? That's the question.
I don't know. I'm going to have to go and look in the Cat's got access to all the. I haven't been checking in since Christmas, but Cat's been keeping track. I wonder. I'm going to go check now, because
you know what? I'm able to check as well.
So
I'm going to go check too, just to make sure, because last year he very last minute, it was new ticket.
He's been every year. Every year he's been.
Life intervention.
Don't be like Jonathan. Buy your ticket this weekend. And so you said there's an early bird price that ends literally in a few hours.
Yeah, today is the last chance to get it on a bit a cheaper one. So if you're buying it yourself and not going for the company, or even if you're buying it for the company, you might as well pick it up now and not wait.
And the good news is
John difference,
has got his ticket. I've just confirmed.
Yeah, there you go. He's done it. Yes.
Lesson learned.
Well,
at the same time, let's make a call for action to speakers to also make your life worse a little bit. To have more to select, and that's to be fair, that's probably the first, let's say, bigger event on the roadmap of Umbraco this year, right? It's usually the kickoff of the festivals, conferences, bigger events than meetups, let's say, right? And then it's just Code Garden, and then there's
no, not quite. There is UDAF. There's UDAF in the mid now as well. So the Australian festival back in April. But there is 2 festivals, and then there's Code Garden, which is obviously still 6 months away, but it's close. And I was going to say, with the CFP, so the Code Garden CFP closes in 2 weeks. It's on Sessionize as well as Spark is. And if you were to
copy and paste,
use Spark as your test bed for a talk of whether this idea might work, if it gets accepted, you'll probably have, I guess, Steve, you'll know that before the end of the Code Garden CFP. So if you're happy with it, or it doesn't, you can try again, maybe get some feedback and get that tweaked out of Code Garden too. So good opportunity to try out some ideas. There's no limit either on submissions, right, for Spark? I'm not advocating people submit 10 rubbish.
No, we've had a few people put 2 or 3 in, but so it gives us some choices. But it's good. No, we haven't got a limit, but we probably won't be taking 2 from the same person, honestly.
No.
But it gives us choices, which is good. Try and find a nice balance of stuff. So that's really helpful.
Awesome.
The other thing, if you're looking for tickets as well, we do have 4 tickets that are sponsored for diversity in the tech community. So if you feel you meet that criteria, then you can apply for a free ticket, and then you can check out the website, and you should find a link to.
There's a form. We'll chuck the link down below as well, below this video, so you can submit. Is there a deadline on that one, or it's just?
No, I think it's just before. They're already pre-allocated, so we just need to find some people to take it. And I don't think last year we had all of them go. This year it's been quiet, so and that's free to whoever can.
I think, as we were just saying, even if it's may not be a case of companies not wanting to spend the money, it might just be they're not able to plan that far ahead until fairly last minute as well. So you might see those go a lot closer to the event. But we'll put all the details down below. So CFP closing today, tickets, early birds end today, and it goes up by £25 until the 15th of Feb. So just 2 more weeks even then to get your tickets. And finally, the diversity tickets also open for application. Links will be down below.
Yeah.
Did I get everything?
I think so. I think that's everything. I think Kat's given me a big list, so got to hit these. But
we still
so much more organised than me.
Hop in and mention that. But I wanted to bring the topic of the events, guys. What about the other plans for you this year? I know, Callum, you have more logistics to plan these days. But you've mentioned the UDAF fest, so I'm sure you will be there. And what other events are you guys planning to visit this year? Because I was curious about. Again, I know about Umbraco events, obviously, but I was also curious about other events, about other interesting places on the map. Are you exploring it already? Are you planning to visit some more this year?
Yeah, so I mean, people will probably know that I still speak at a fair amount of events, and last year I did 26 different conferences and different talks in 11 countries, and I'm under no illusion that that's not going to be it's not going to be possible this year because it's so much further to travel. But I'm trying to get more involved with the local community down here. I've already got 3 events, I think, lined up for the next couple of months for conferences here in Sydney, some in Melbourne, and I'll be back in Europe, of course. So I'm going to speaking at NDC Oslo in May. Of course, I'll be putting some talks in for Code Garden and keeping my fingers and toes crossed there. But I'll be back for a month over the summer. So if people want me to talk at a meetup as well, I'd love to when I'm back for that month. So hit me up then. It's going to be a very different world. Like I've got to scratch that itch a different way now somehow. I don't know how.
You're quite remote now. It's like everywhere is a long flight now from where you are. So
I was talking to someone the other day about an event, and it was in South Africa, and I was like, oh, South Africa, Australia, they're close, right? No, 15 hours flying, and I just hadn't clocked there's just sea in the middle. Same with going to the US. I'm going to the MVP summit in March, and for the Microsoft MVP summit, and like it's 18 hours of traveling just to get anywhere. So yeah. I mean, first world problems, right? It's very nice being down here, but
get your air miles. So yeah.
Are you planning to go to any events other than typical suspects?
Yeah, I was going to try and apply to speak at a few as well, but I'd like to go to Code Garden. I think that's my plan, and we're just picking who from Jibe will be going. We've got 5 MVPs in the team now, so there's a bit of a contest who gets to go, because there's quite a few other people that would like to, or that are sort of quite involved with the community but aren't MVP level. So we've got to worry about that. But yeah, I'd really like to do Code Garden. I really like the Dutch festival. It was really fun.
I've got some bad news for you on the Dutch festival. It might not be coming back. I mean, it's not hidden knowledge. There's a Henk and Arnold, who've been involved in the Dutch foundation Doog for a few years, have decided it's time for them to both step down, and they're kind of looking for a new group of people to take on the Umbraco Foundation in the Netherlands, which includes the meetups, but also the festival. And I mean, the festival is a lot of work to organize and costly. So I don't know if anyone's going to step up just yet, but they had a meetup, like a farewell drinks for the foundation a few weeks back, and then I think there's going to be some decisions what happens. So I don't have any information other than that. I've just been told unlikely to be a Dutch festival this year. I hope someone changes it, because I agree, Steve. They've been great events in the past.
Yeah. Is Perplex Dutch? Is that what I meant?
Perplex is Dutch, yes.
Yeah. Oh, just dropping it in, Jeffrey.
There's loads of them. There's Arlenet. There's IO, like some really big agencies that have got a lot of people, not even events people that could help out. But yeah,
fingers crossed then. Fingers crossed, because I was also thinking on being back there this year. So let's see if it will happen or not, and then we will maybe reignite then as well. There.
I don't know if you saw Steffi's post about Code Garden.
I did.
That one? Yeah,
that was yesterday, right?
Should she rip it up and do it differently, or stick with the traditional? Yeah.
We can't do polls on the umbraCoffee chat, but maybe you can let us know. So the question that Steffi posed was 20 years of Code Garden, and it's got 19 years of history with hardcore, diehard fans that have been there, some of them every year for 19 years. And there's traditions and there's things, but do we keep those traditions alive and alienate the other 50% of people that come that don't know about those? Or do you go all in on some new things and try and make a new, fresh event for the 20 years of Code Garden? It's a tricky one, because there's a lot of nostalgia people hold on to, but at the same time, it's a very different place, Code Garden, than it was even 5 years ago. So I want that.
We'll see. But at the same time, if people who are watching might have some ideas to share, we will highlight them. So tell us about them. We don't have superpowers to do polls here, but we will definitely supply this input to Stefio and the rest of the teams working on the events. I have I just remember that I have some logistics with Code Garden this year because my wife bought a tickets for Justin Timberlake's concert the Tuesday this week. So I might be flying straight from Justin's concert, just to say, right? So yeah, that might be interesting from Krakow. So yeah, I don't like planning, and I need to plan 6 months ahead now. So that's great.
So this is a fun fact. I actually booked my Code Garden flights from Sydney to London and then back from Copenhagen to come home to Australia after. I booked them in the middle of the night during Code Garden last year because I had to wake up to get these certain flights that I wanted. I had to wake up as soon as they went on sale, like you'd queue up for your Justin Timberlake tickets. So it took me a whole year of planning, Marcin, to get my tickets for next year.
Impressive. That's the dedication. That's the dedication that people don't see from the outside.
I had to pull some strings quietly in the background to find out what the dates were before they were announced on the Friday. Anyway,
that's crazy. But that's the life of the community members who want to be involved and participate. And I think this is really important. But I don't have any ideas now yet. But it would be really interesting to see how it will resolve in 20 years. And it's a huge history. 20 years is a lot of time, and that's definitely interesting to see what idea team will populate there.
Yeah, I think like some stuff like the bingo, probably they couldn't do today what you could do.
No.
Like when it was 15 years ago, or you couldn't do that these days. So I think like probably that
no flipping cars and stuff like that. Right?
And there was some moments in there which you just couldn't imagine now. So I think it's probably time to do something.
I'd like to see the sausage cam come back, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I love them as well. And ice creams in the pre-party just after hot sauces. Yeah. People crying in the single room.
I said sausage cam. It was 2 years ago. Steve had a slow-mo cam to throw sausages at people.
Sausages as well. That
hot sauce. I agree. That was good too.
Oh, the hot wings. That was it's good. Yeah, the sausage cam was fun, but kind of. Someone tripped over a light and smashed it, and it kind of messed
really?
up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a big queue. It's surprisingly big queue for people to have stuff thrown at their faces, which is funny.
Well,
I just saw the memory of a flying president of the United States who is re-elected again. So history likes to repeat. So maybe we'll see some remembered moments and some keylights of the history over.
We should talk Lottians have been lowered down as Trump from the ceiling.
Yes.
I would pay to see it.
So we'll see. Let's keep fingers crossed that it will be fun, and all of us will be able to make it, and all the people who might have not seen this see something else instead. Shall we talk about Umbraco then a little bit? What has happened in the recent period of time? I must admit that I was not that much involved, and I just realized today when we were preparing for this episode that we had a 24 days in Umbraco series, which was not fully summarized, I would say, from our perspective.
It wasn't at all summarized, Marcin. We didn't do one in December, so we've not spoken about 24 days in Umbraco. Lots of great articles. That's all I can say. Go read them.
Yeah. Do you guys have any of your favorites? Because I don't, because I haven't caught up on any of those yet. Yeah,
I'd say my.
I've yet to. Yeah, there's so much comes out, and December's a busy month for us, so it's like.
But there were a couple of them about extending back office that I have even bookmarked to be reviewed carefully when I will be thinking about V14 and V15, and there was a lot of interesting other articles that is worth attending. And this whole new UI of the 24 days, I just opened a couple of the articles today just to browse them, and I didn't recognize the website from the past, and it looks really cool and nice to read. So
the page transitions are awesome. Like you click on a card and it zooms into the title of the other. Oh, it's great. It's great. Well done, whoever did that. I'm assuming it was Christian, but good job. Really good job.
But yeah, it's a lot to recap. So definitely 24 plus articles. There were a couple of days with 2. No, there was 1 per day this year.
It was 1 per day this year. Yeah.
So that's one. What else happened? A couple of the releases of Umbraco, right?
Yes.
Callum, you brought 2 of them for the attention. I can share some of my screen now.
Yeah, let's
It
do
was
that.
13.6.
13.6 is out, including quite a few nice fixes, which is awesome, and some of them mine. The thing that I was most curious about, though, actually, in this is, so 13.6 came out yesterday, and I guess there's no planned release cadence for 13 anymore because it's now sort of in maintenance-ish mode. It's not the primary version, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a work in progress version for version 13.7 with a target release date of the end of February. And I was just going to throw it out there. It's possibly a mistake, but does this mean we're going to be looking at sort of like semi-regular, perhaps planned, scheduled 13 releases? Because people are ultimately still using that. I would guess it's the predominant version at the moment. Personally, if we're doing upgrades on sites, it's what we're upgrading clients to still, not 14 or 15. So yeah, I'm interested, but there's a 13.17 on the 13.7 on the roadmap as well.
Yeah. And yesterday there were some discussions on Slack about the pipelines, because people were, and that's how people got used to the cadence of releases. That someone asked, "Where is the release? It's supposed to be today," and it turns out that Umbraco had some issues with release pipelines. But then the release popped out, and yeah, I think that it would be interesting to see where it will go, because I do agree with you. We use 13 everywhere. Right now, so it will be really and I believe that all of those fixes might not be just ready yet for 13.6 on the release cadence, and now they are parked, so they need to be released somewhere, and this summer right now is set to the end of the February. Maybe we will have some. Sebastian said that no semi-regular planned releases of 13. That's
the other thing I was going to say is, you're right, Marcin. Like we've been doing some profiling of Umbraco in the last couple of weeks and finding some things that are really interesting, and they've been issues since like V9, and they really should get fixed in the 13 release. And so it's really unclear now which branch you want to target things at. And slightly cheekily of me, I've been targeting things at 13 because that's really where I want the fix, not the latest. And well, some of them have been merged. I'm sorry, Seb, but I guess. Yeah, it would be good to see some of these like important patches and fixes go into 13, wouldn't it? Because everyone is still using it.
Well, it's still the long-term support version, so
it is,
well, until there's another long-term support, I would imagine 13 needs to be kept up to date.
And speaking about patches, there was one important in the middle, right? So not that far away in time, 10 days from today. Another round of security updates affecting a lot of the versions, and I'm sure I'm thinking that most of us are already after patching and updating. Fortunately, for at least all of the ones I was involved in, there was no issues with the updates and no patches of the patches this time. So that's really good, and I think that's how it is. And yeah, we can see again that all the versions that are still with active support, they received the patches. The ones that are out of support are not receiving the packages. And I recently realized that some of our clients didn't know that they are unsupported, for example, right? So that's a good discussion again to realize them. Okay, you are on the version 9, which effectively got end of life earlier than version 8.
Yes, yeah. It's actually something. It's actually something we've been having interesting conversations with clients, because I guess clients don't necessarily know, unless they're clued up or have been told, that sites need an upgrade, and that they're on a version that might actually reach end of life. And we've been having conversations with clients that come to us and say, we want an upgrade because we just want some performance improvements, and we actually have to tell them, no, the version you're on retired sort of 2 years ago, and you really should have moved off it then. So this is a bigger piece of work. And yeah, there's an education, I think, for customers about what the end of life means. I don't think everyone's heard about it.
But some of the customers comes in and they have scans done, and whenever they have some kind of scans or penetration testing done or anything like that, that this is just raising the red flag in front of them that this is version. Or if you are opening Visual Studio, you immediately see that some of the packages that you use are deprecated or affected by some security reports, and then but clients don't see that often, and yeah, it's surprising for me. It was I wasn't even realizing that version 9 was end of life earlier than version 8. that was something what I realized recently too. So yeah, that was definitely some of the updates. But then maybe jump into the future, because there were some. I don't know if you guys watched. There was this winter keynote from Umbraco, right, at the start of the year. There were a couple of the summaries and, of course, visions and topics mentioned, but one of them was mentioned probably if there, but definitely was mentioned also outside of that, and this is all about search. And I think this is something what I was interested in a lot. We've been talking about it for sure, Callum, multiple times, and I don't know if it's still that active conversation on RFC, but it was very active when I was checking it last time. So have you guys seen it? What are your thoughts about it? Are you looking to resolution of it?
So I mean, to summarize quite quickly, the ultimate goal here is to create a new abstraction for search in Umbraco. That means examine is no longer the default abstraction, and it's also to surface concepts that exist in some other providers, such as Algolia or Elasticsearch, things like faceting, and make those first-class citizens. There's also talk about making indexing more efficient by currently when you index data in Umbraco, it's building up a dictionary of all of the values and trying to flatten them and format them in a certain way. There's a talk about doing a lot of that up front at publish time and saving that in the database in a sort of provider agnostic way. And then depending on the search provider you choose, it can pull that data in and decide how it formats that for the format that it needs. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, publishing's already quite slow, so I'd be conscious to see if there's a way we can do that efficiently without slowing publishing down too much. But on the whole, sounds sensible. There's also no suggestion that examine is actually going away. I think it makes sense that it might be the default implementation, but the idea that you can install a package and search gets swapped out for a third party, maybe a SaaS solution, I think is a decent one. And it's good to see this type of abstraction being committed to by Umbraco HQ and not a community member that we're then reliant on having to maintain. So yeah, overall positive. Don't have too many deep thoughts on it. I haven't read into it too much currently.
Yeah, we use Algolia on a couple of our sites now, and Elastic on one, and Azure Cognitive Search and ExaminX on another, and kind of really moving away from the sort of traditional examine model. So I'm very up for search changing and Umbraco and giving us more options.
At the same time, it's funny to see how Umbraco was depending on it internally, because it's also about the searches inside of Umbraco, right? And being able to do more with it without releasing the new versions, maybe inside, abstracting this, or using the superpowers of those engines generally, because we've been limited for a long time by some old Lucene versions that couldn't do some of the things that were already possible in all the other providers. So yeah, definitely it will help.
We still are. Like if you look at raw Elasticsearch, for example, you can do so much there because it's Java based and it's using the very latest version of Lucene. Lucene.net, we're on 4.8, which is a port, and I don't know where Lucene main is now. I think it's version 8 of Lucene. There is so many features that are missing from 4.8 even still. So whilst it would be lovely to have them, it's going to take a long time and a lot of volunteers' time for us to get there. So this is probably the more logical way of bringing more powerful search options, extensibility to Umbraco.
Yeah, there's essentially one guy supporting Lucene.net, like porting it over. So it's it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
But then we have a lot of other potential contributors in the community, and I think we hope to see more of those interesting ideas and contributions in. And that relates to one more blog post that I wanted to highlight today, and we've been talking about in the behind the scenes, which is Umbraco contributing partners. It was announced this week.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So all of the companies and teams that were supporting Umbraco in various ways generally were either named a contributing partner. There are 10 new contributing partners this year, and 36 renewed. So there is a lot of companies helping out Umbraco basically as a part of their work, and I think this is the recognition for them as well to thank them to supporting Umbraco as a part of their job somehow on the community level. So there's a lot of interesting companies here. And yeah, maybe as a part of these contributions, some of those companies, ourselves included in a lot of those cases, we will just get back with some ideas or code maybe. We'll see. And if not, the last link before we'll go on freestyle. If not, maybe the DevRel team that I was highlighted as profile this month will help developers to understand how they can help. Because I'm always saying that around me there's so many great developers that they can do things better than I do, and they sometimes need to just be pointed towards what can be solved, and they will solve it. Maybe the DevRel team will do the same with other developers who might not be that much exposed, and of course for the whole DevRel team who might not have been that much exposed yet for a lot of people, there is a blog post highlighting all of the team members right now, and with all the backgrounds. Really interesting highlights and also photos from the past.
Maybe the longest profile ever. It's a lot of information. It's like 5 in 1.
Jibe one last month was I thought it was going to be too long, 27 minutes. It was about the same sort of size, 25-minute read or something. It's 27. So mad, getting some big ones.
Yeah, pretty nice history pictures from the past.
If they can keep this up month by month with this profile, I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the top picture had cropped Seb's head off.
I noticed.
Always the best.
Yeah, but it's a long blog post, and we'll link it up so everyone can catch up and read through the whole information about the DevRel team. And let's see what are the initiatives. And Emma was talking about it on the winter keynote, and there were a couple of mentions of how developers are important for Umbraco as an open source project, and how the communities can help. So I'm sure that for open source project and community, it is really important to spread out those words, and we'll definitely highlight all of the activities of the team, and we'll support the team as well. That's all from the links that we've got prepared. Is there, guys, anything else that you would like to mention? Anything that we might forgot about? Probably a lot of stuff from the last 2 months.
Probably,
I guess the only Spark thing that's maybe a bit different this year is the hackathon. We had some ideas about making it into a bit of a package sort of themed one. And with the idea that at the end of Spark, we're going to have a package competition. I don't know if Callum was probably there, but we're there for the sort of old school package competition at Code Garden. Before it got all glam and glitzy, it used to be like, I come up and present your package, and we will sort of clapathon, vote for who did the best job. So it's a bit more fun, a bit more tongue in cheek. But so if you have package ideas and stuff, I'll be starting to get in touch at the beginning of February to the people that have signed up for tickets and have checked the box to say they're interested in coming. We'll start getting some ideas together so that when you turn up, like, you're not completely start from scratch. But there'll be a bit more of a package, a bit different. We'll try it out. It might not work. It might work. So we'll see. But I think always sometimes the hackathons, if it's in between the big releases, sometimes there's less like focus on it. So trying to come up with something to give it a bit of focus. And I think, like I was sort of saying the other day, that the Umbraco has recruited a lot of people recently, and quite a lot of the sort of big package authors have ended up working for Umbraco. So we could sort of try and, I mean, it's naturally they would employ from the community, but it does mean that we kind of need to start sort of bringing people up in the sort of creating new packages and getting some ideas and get people up to speed on how actually it's not that tough once you get going on. So
definitely,
that's a good idea. Awesome. So that's it now. For now, we'll hopefully catch up by the end of next month. where we'll have more to update on. Maybe we'll bring some more information from the Umbraco itself and some other stuff. And yeah, Steve, thanks for joining us today, and fingers crossed for a lot of more submissions for call for proposals and tickets this week and today for sure. And yeah, for everyone else, if you have anything interesting to share or mention or talk about, basically, let us know as well. So you know where to find us, almost everywhere. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about it next month.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you everyone for being with us. It was nice to be back.
Yeah.
We will learn how to use StreamYard again for the next one. So yeah, have a lovely rest of the day, evening for some, and see you next month.
Yeah. See you all.
Cheers.
Thank you guys. Cheers.